Do they need cleaning maybe?
I just cleaned them. Hello, we're recording. Yes, I think. Yes, yes. Hi. Hi, this is Susan Teton. We're talking about my glasses maybe needing cleaning. I'll take them off. This is Susan Teton, and welcome to my Seed to Soul speaker series. And this series, I'm developing it because I know some extraordinary women that have used their soul, their life purpose to really create extraordinary wisdom and become as conscious and smart and savvy and participating in our world as much as they can. And I want to share them with you. They're just so cool. So my very first guest, and welcome everyone, is Allison Stillman. And I've known Allison for about 5 years now, and this woman has contributed so much to my life. She is an extraordinary author and alchemist. That's why I want to call her, because she is one of our original teachers of essential oils. And if you know anything about essential oils, you'll know that they're number one essential, but the vibration of the plants and what they stand for and the healing properties is nothing short of magical. And Allison has done so much more. And so I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about herself. And today we're going to talk about a product that we are super excited about, that is a human growth hormone, and there is lots to learn. So welcome, Allison.
Thank you so much for having me be a part of this. I'm really excited for you to be sharing with everyone, because I know how tapped in and connected you are to much magnificence. And so I'm happy to be a part of that. So as Susan said, I'm actually an author and teacher and conscious alchemy coach. And I've been teaching workshops for about 25 years about anointing and aromatherapy and the various uses of sacred aromatics. My love and passion for aromatherapy, which I've been studying for 45 years.
For ages, yes.
My passion is really more the spiritual and sacred ceremonial use of essential oils. And that came about as a result of my work with anointing, which I discovered about 30 years ago. And I've just watched how the power of anointing and the power of using essential oils can completely transform people's lives on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels. And so most of my life, I've been on a quest, if you will, a spiritual path to awaken consciousness. And what I like to say my mission in life is, and I do it through a lot of different things that I do, is to raise the frequency of love on the planet. And so everything that I have done in my life is about that. And I feel like the biggest way to raise the frequency of love on the planet is to raise it within me.
Well, you're right on about that. Gosh, isn't that the biggest lesson ever?
Yeah, for all of us.
Yeah.
That's what we're all looking for, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it starts here. It's us. We have to learn to bring it up. So
Absolutely.
tell us how to do that. What are some of your ways? And tell us about the gel and how it facilitates and is a resource to help that happen.
Absolutely. So I believe that we are these supernatural spiritual beings, the divine face, if you will, of the supreme intelligence or God or divinity or source or whatever you want to call it. We are that in human form. And when we come into the body, we kind of are in a state of bewilderment. If you look at newborns, they kind of look around and they go, whoa, what is this? What are we doing here? And
I still feel that way sometimes.
Yeah, I do too.
Right. What the hell? Anyway.
Right. And so we borrow beliefs and habits in order to fit into our tribe. So we look to our mothers and fathers and our family and our community, and we go, oh, this is how you be a human. This is what you believe. Right. This is what you do. And most of our upbringing is through school, and we develop the intellect. and we don't spend time developing the soul or developing our higher selves or
Right.
our connection to source, the divine essence of who we are. And so there are a lot of different things that we can do to
Right.
reconnect ourselves. And I believe, and you probably will agree with me because we talk about this a lot, that in today's world, we really have to incorporate a lot of practices to keep us in the
Right.
remembrance of who we really
Here
are,
we
because
are.
it's very easy to get
Yeah.
lost in
Right.
the samsara of what's going on in our world
Right.
right now.
And I don't think that I could, that we all realize how it's affecting us. It's like little jabs of constant negativity all day long if you're watching a lot of the media or you're busy in your life. And so it's really, for me, it's vital. It's vital. I'm just, if I don't take on a few practices and keep my body as healthy as I can. Yeah.
I learned a really important lesson. This was about 20 years ago. I took a little bit of a detour for 5 years, and I went to work with a friend of mine who was starting up a technology company called Dolphin Search, and it was search technology built upon the research done around the pattern recognition portion of the dolphin brain. And it was the first conceptual search engine ever created, and we ended
Oh,
up selling it in the legal industry. And I was the marketing director, and I was in New York once a week, and I was meeting with the heads of the largest law firms and the corporate counsel for large corporations, and we were processing large amounts of legal documents. And it was really interesting because I've been a meditator since I was 14, and I have done a lot of different practices and studied with a lot of different teachers and gurus. And I
uh-huh.
believe we all need coaches and mentors in this lifetime. I have them as well. But what happened for me was I had to really up my practice. So I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I meditated for an hour every single day before I went. And even when I traveled, I took my
Wow.
little traveling altar and my oils. And at the end of the day, oftentimes I'd have to blow off social engagements and go back in front of my altar as a reminder, because I was in such a heady world
Yeah.
and we get lost in it. And if I didn't do that practice, I got so irritated and sad and depressed. And so I learned how
Yeah.
important it is being in our world, especially an intellectual world. Like I said, we only develop the intellect through school. And so we need those practices as a reminder of who we are.
Yeah.
And it's meditation and prayer and anointing and calling on angels and so many different things that I do every day in order to stay sane in an insane world, if you will. Yeah. So back to talking about the gel. So I'm also very intuitive, and I always there's a saying in the health and wellness industry that the body never lies. We can rationalize in our minds and we
Right.
can go through all these thoughts, but the body never lies. And so this product came out a few years ago, and a friend of mine called me about it, and it's a homeopathic human growth hormone gel. So
Right.
it's very different than what we've known for the last 50 years, which are human growth hormone injections, which have a lot of different controversial side effects, but are very popular. I think in the United States alone, there's 35 million injectable users in this country alone.
Wow.
So a friend of mine called me up and said, "Oh, I just heard about this product. I think you'd be interested in it." And I said, "Well, what is it?" And she said, "It's a homeopathic human growth hormone gel." And everything in my body was like, "Oh, I want it."
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know anything about it. And she goes, "Well, do you want me to send you information?" I said, "No, just sign me up. I want this." My body is a very strong yes.
Uh-huh.
And I believe this is a tool, this product is a tool to help us understand the true nature of who we are. So we're led to believe that human growth hormone, we have lots of it until about the age of 25, and then it starts to really diminish. And human growth hormone is the youth hormone or the master hormone, and it regulates, it's produced by the pituitary gland, and it regulates all of the other endocrine system.
Yeah.
And so what happens is, as we get older and our HGH levels start to go down, we start to age and we start to get disease and we die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you study any kind of spiritual practices, you always hear about the yogis who live in the cave to be 300 years old, or they don't show aging. And we know that that's possible, but we don't have the belief yet that it is possible. And so what I love about this product, it's one of those products that, for me, I keep getting these comments from my friends and people on social media. They see pictures of me and they go, "You look younger and younger all the time. What are you doing?" And yes, I live a really healthy, organic lifestyle and take really good care of myself. But I've done that all my life, right? This is something different, and people are really noticing. And so what I'm seeing for myself and validating for myself is that we don't have to get old. We don't have to age, that we can live as long as we want with a thought and a belief inside our bodies. And so this product is one of those gateway products that take us to a place where we can reverse the aging process. We can turn back our hormones, and we can start to feel really vital and healthy and radiant again in our bodies. And then once we know that, then if enough of us, mass consciousness, sees that it's possible, then we know it's possible in the body, and we can just think it and make it happen. But we're not there yet.
No, I don't think so. Well, and thank you for that. And that's a very provocative statement, really, that we can go there with a thought. I think you're right. And we are far away from it. But the more you study consciousness, like all the trainings you've done with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I've read his books, I haven't been able to attend his seminars, except years ago, he was here on Maui. But the more I listen to it, and the more you realize that he's just skirting the edge. It's just the beginning of what can really happen, because the healing stories are extraordinary. They're extraordinary, but they take
I've witnessed miracles.
Yeah.
I've witnessed miracles at some of these events with Dr. Joe. Yeah.
Must be so fun. But I want to bring back a point about the yogi. He's not married. He doesn't have children. He doesn't probably have to cook his meals, and he doesn't have a job. So therein lies the real, pendulum swinging from how someone lives and can achieve that, and the way we're living. And all the more reason that we have to take time out. I hear so many people say, "I'm just too busy. I'm just too busy." Well, undo. Some of those things aren't really necessary. And I'm finding this true in my own life lately. I'll think, "Oh, I got to do this today. And then I went, wait a minute, I don't really have to.
Right.
Like I let my car be dirty for a month. I mean, that's a stupid example, but it's all these little things that pile up into a day of rushing your head off. Anyway, back to the gel.
Yes.
Because I think it's very interesting that it's not an injection. It is homeopathic. And I remember listening to a lecture on the Facebook where all the YouTube videos and testimonials from people are, and doctors' lectures, that it doesn't have to be processed through the liver, which is really key, because everything that we take that has to go through the liver is we put some sort of strain when it's different on the liver, and this is just homeopathic, so it's a different. So would you speak to that?
Yeah, so one of the big differences between the injectables and between this product is that when you get an HGH injection, they're actually injecting that hormone into your body. And so it's not doing anything to stimulate your own body to turn back on again. Right. It's replacing the ability of your body to produce that. So what I love about this product is it's not HGH that you're using. It's actually
Right.
a precursor to HGH. It's called somatropin, and it's built of amino acids. And it goes into the pituitary gland, and it turns your own pituitary gland on again, and you produce it in spurts. So your body produces it, and then an hour later it's gone. And then you want to use the gel 2 or 3 times a day so that you're turning it back on a couple of times. And I've had a lot of effects in my own body that are proving to me, yes, it's rolling back age. And I won't go into too many details, but I've played with it a little bit and done more doses and watched things happen and just go, okay, maybe that was a little bit too much. I've gone back 11 years. But anyway, I'm always about making our own bodies back into production in the healthiest way possible so that we're the creator of the radiance and vitality that we're looking to achieve in our lives, instead of replacing our bodies being able to do it. And that's what the injections do. And you're putting a lot of hormone into your body. And so your body doesn't have to produce its own hormones. And I think it's healthier when we're the ones producing it and we're being stimulated to produce it.
Yeah, huge difference. Huge difference. And not only that, but it's also much more affordable because injectables are like really expensive.
They run about anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Right.
Yeah.
And the gel is about $150 or $140 a month.
Right.
Right.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And again, there's 35 million people in this country alone that are spending $2,000 to $3,000 a month to get injections. Right. And there's been a lot of study about human growth hormone and a lot of clinical trials. And I think one of the things that got me really excited about this product is I read a book called Grow Young with HGH by Dr. Ronald Klatz, who is the head of the American Academy of Anti-Aging. And at this time, most of the research that he compiled into this book was about human growth hormone injections. But just to prove the point of how important HGH is, they did a clinical trial. This was over in Europe. And they took 80-year-olds and they started giving them HGH. And they rolled back their metabolic age to 60.
Wow.
So,
and what kind of period of time, do you know?
I don't recall. I think it was over the, I don't recall. I'm not going to even speculate because I'm not recalling the length of time. But regardless, if it was 6 months or a year, that's still significant because it's taken 80 years.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again, the HGH, homeopathic HGH product, it's going to move much more slowly because it's your body turning back on again. So even if it takes a year to 2 years, I've been on the product for 2 years, I notice effects still now that are happening.
Wow.
And some of the effects that started for me, they took, 6 to 8 months before I started really seeing the significance of it. And, after being on the planet for as long as I have, what's 6 months,
Right.
My age and to feel really good in my body and healthy and radiant and vital, it's totally worth it.
Well, and it always takes time to do anything. If somebody really wants to lose weight, it's going to take maybe a year, depending on what they have to do. If they want to build, be a bodybuilder or get stronger, it's going to take time. It doesn't happen in 2 classes. I'd love to have you speak to us on some of the results that you have noticed, and also maybe other people, and then I'll speak to mine as well.
Sure. So I personally, what happened for me, the first thing I noticed, and this was after about 3 or 4 days of using the gel, was that my recovery from my workouts significantly was reduced. So at the time when I first started using it, I was doing a lot of paddle boarding. And I lived by a lake. I've since moved from there, but I lived by a lake, and it took me about an hour and a half to get around the whole circumference of the lake. And I'd go slow, take my time, and I'd always be a little bit sore the next day. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna see how this is really working for my recovery. And I challenged myself to go as fast and hard as I could. And I did the lake in 1 hour and 10 minutes. And I was just paddling like crazy.
Yeah.
By the end of it, my arms were shaking and my shoulders hurt. And I went, oh boy, I might have really pushed it. The next day, I had 0 side effects, no
Nice.
soreness, totally recovered. And I've tested that again, where I went off of it for a week, and I thought, okay, I'm going to just see how it affects me. And normally I do a pretty serious workout right now with cross training, and normally when I'm on the gel, the next day I'll be a little bit sore, like I worked out yesterday, and I'm a little bit sore in my shoulders and my abdominals. And I just do a couple doses of gel and it's gone.
Wow.
And so I said, okay, I'll just see where I'm at. And I went off of it for 7 days. And for 4 days, I could barely lift anything. I would be like, oh, my shoulders, oh. And every time I go to stand up, I go, oh, my legs, oh. And I went, oh my gosh, it's from not taking the gel. So I came home, did another workout, did the gel that day. Next day, I was fine. And I'm like, okay, that's significant. And then the next thing that happened for me, and
I want to interject something, because I think this is important, that it's not just about being sore. It's because I've listened to some of the testimonials on YouTube with some of these bodybuilders, and what's happening is that you're having the ability to build more muscle mass because you have the ability to, number one, perform without the pain. And it's not so much the pain, there's something happening when there's pain, obviously. So instead of that something happening, you're actually building muscle, building strength, building stamina. So I just wanted to make that point.
Yes. And that's really good point, because that's really what brought popularity to HGH injections is the pro bodybuilders and pro sports world. And then Hollywood got turned on to it, of course, and that really brought it into the limelight, if you will, no pun intended. But the sports world, the pro athletes are the ones that really brought HGH into this world because of the results of that, of building muscle mass and workout recovery, much faster workout recovery.
I want to add to my own self too. And I don't think I realized that the gel played a huge part in this, but I can see now that it totally has. Number one, I like do a lot of Kundalini yoga. I run on the beach, and sometimes I pick up huge sticks. We have a lot of sticks that are on the beach, and I use them to work out and lift. And I don't ever hurt. I'm not in pain. And here I am at 74 years old, very, very active. I'm thinner than I would like to be, but I've gotten used to it. That's just the way I am, and seems to be. But I'm strong. And a lot of times people will say, well, let me lift that for you. And I go, no, I can handle that. And I do. I'm actually really strong. And I do believe that the gel has had a great deal to help me influence that, especially since I was sick, because that's when I started taking it, was after I had shingles.
Right.
And I lost a lot of weight and I lost a lot of muscle mass. But now I have it back. Even though I'm a little thinner, I'm stronger.
Yeah. Well, and I want to also speak to what we were saying earlier about how HGH is the master regulator for all the other hormonal secretions in the endocrine system. I actually have a gal who I work with in the company who is an OBGYN, and she's on the medical board of the company that produces this product. And she's got over 125 patients on this product, and she's doing blood work. And she is now taking a lot of these women off of bioidentical hormones or lowering their dose of bioidentical hormones and thyroid medications too, which is really fantastic, because that's the validation I love. My intellect likes hearing, there's science behind this. We're doing blood work and we're watching people's hormones change. So it's not just a wish, maybe this homeopathic's going to work. No, this homeopathic really works, and it really turns the body back on again. So I love seeing that validation.
Now, there's also, I've read a lot about weight loss, people that have had really stubborn weight that they just can't get rid of, even though they're exercising and their diet's good and they start taking the gel and it just kind of floats away. I'm sure
Well,
it's not
again,
all
that's
that
hormonal.
easy, but yeah.
Right. A lot of that's hormonal, especially for
Right.
women, that reach a
Right.
certain age. That's the first thing that happens. The belly fat shows up, the
Uh-huh.
extra padding around the hips shows up.
Right.
And that's a part of the reversing the aging process that's been so wonderful. That's one of the things that I noticed. I was having pretty strong hot flashes when I started this product, and anywhere between 8 to 10 a day.
Wow.
And after about 2 weeks, my hot flashes disappeared. And
Wow.
the other thing that I absolutely love was that I was waking up a lot before I started the gel, and 4 or 5 times a night, and having a hard time going back to sleep, which is typical for, pre and post menopausal
Right.
women. I sleep 8 to 9 hours every single night
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, me
And
too. Yeah.
that's phenomenal.
It's really great.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
that's one of the
a
things.
one wake up to go to the bathroom, or two sometimes for me, but then I'm right back
Yeah.
and in a very deep sleep, very deep. But it is about 8 to 9 hours.
Yeah.
And people go, "Oh my God, I can't believe you sleep that much." And I go, "I just need it. It just
Yeah,
happens, you know."
I love it. I love it. I don't know, it was probably a few weeks ago. I actually slept 12 hours. I like, oh my gosh, this is just like so decadent and fabulous.
Do you nap?
No, don't
No.
need to.
Yeah. Yeah. I nap
That's
now and
that's
then.
another of the effects that I've noticed for myself, is that I have consistent energy throughout the course of the day. And it doesn't go up and down like this. It's just consistent. I'm
Uh-huh.
relaxed, I'm mellow, but I have energy throughout the course of the day, and I can continue to work and do things all day long into the evening, and not get tired until it really is time to turn off the lights.
Great. Yeah. If I rest often in the afternoon, but it won't be a sleep or a nap. It's really like I just need to like take a recess. So it's more like a meditation, savasana. I just
Right.
let myself rest for a while and be quiet. Even if it's 5 minutes, it's huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, but it's usually about 20. But anyway, tell us more, and tell us where we can get it, and any more, testimonials or some of the wonderful side effects.
Yeah. So another wonderful thing that I've noticed too, and this was a total surprise to me, but I think it speaks to, again, bringing us into a perfect state of health and wellness and balance in our bodies. So I went to my eye doctor. I've worn glasses and had the exact same prescription for my eyes since I was 5 years old. It's never changed.
Wow.
And the last time I went to the eye doctor, my eyes had improved and I had to get a new prescription
Wow.
for the first time ever in my life. I
Wow.
mean, that was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's pretty amazing.
Now, how long have you been on the gel?
For 2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
great. That's a real sign.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's been a lot of really incredible things. I've had friends who have gone into surgery and come out, and their recovery time on the gel
Much
has
shorter.
sped up significantly.
Right. Right.
Healing speeds
Yeah.
up significantly. Increased libido.
Yes.
That's a significant.
All things youth.
Yes, exactly.
All things youth. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
So,
yes.
yeah, and I was, well, I don't know whether we have enough time or not, but I just wanted to speak to how important it is to keep our spirits strong now, because even if we were dealing with family issues and we have a heartache, or we have, our soul is really hurt from something that's really happened to us, in other times in our life or earlier in our life, it's so important for us to keep our spirit strong, because our spirit is our driver. It's the thing that says, yeah, let's do this. And every resource that we can accumulate, from good food to meditation to keeping movement going in our bodies, are so important. And any kind of supplements or the gel is just such a fantastic aid to carry us through this journey.
Absolutely. So I want to share a couple of things that I have found are absolutely essential for my daily practice. So, first of all, what we were talking about earlier about what's happening in the world right now and how we're so impacted
Right.
by it and affected by it. Well, one of the things that most people don't take into consideration is that everything is connected energetically. And if you study any quantum
Right.
physics at all now, what you'll find is they're actually photographing what Stephen Hawking called the living mind of God. And what that looks like is this, it's a grid and it's interlaced like this of light, and it exists everywhere in everything, and it's all connected. There is no separation
So
between
exciting.
us, between the plants, between the animals, between everything. It's all comprised of this living mind of God. And that means that when you walk down a street, you're connected to every single person, and all of their energy, their heartache, their depression, their sadness, whatever they're going through is coming in to your field.
Right. Right.
So, an awareness of that, then, okay, what do you want to do to prevent that from happening? So, I've learned a couple of really important things that I do every single day. The first is I call on my guardian angel, and every single person, I've been working with angels for 35 years, every single person has a guardian angel. And if you call on your guardian angel, they can assist you. This is a free will planet. And if you don't call for their help, they just sit there and go, oh no, what is she doing? Oh my gosh, she's going to do that, right? So if you call on your guardian angel to surround, empower, and protect you so that nothing but love and light sticks to your field,
Uh-huh.
you will have a sanctuary of light that you travel in, and things can inform you, but they don't get to stick to you. It's a
Right.
really important thing. I've been telling my
Right.
clients this for 25 years, and I know it works. And
Uh-huh.
then the second thing is to use essential oils to anoint yourself, to anoint the crown of your head, your shoulders, your heart, your belly, your power center, the small of your back, behind your knees. These are all
Right.
really important places.
Right.
And I've actually studied the electromagnetic field or the auric field around your body and what happens when you anoint yourself with essential oils. And the three primary ones that I use for most protection are frankincense, blue chamomile, and lavender. And when I actually did the study to see what happens to the energetic field when you put these oils on you,
Mm.
it fixes all the holes in your energetic field, and it enforces that electromagnetic field that we all
Wow.
have around our bodies. So, anointing yourself with oils and calling on your guardian angel, those are two simple
Wow.
practices that you can do that I guarantee you will make you feel a lot better and keep your vibration up when you're
Right.
out in the world.
Right. Right. Did you say frankincense, lavender, and
Blue chamomile.
blue chamomile? Oh gosh, there's so much I could say. Thank you for
They're the
sharing that.
Holy
Yeah.
Trinity.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. There's so much I could say in regards to that. Not to mention that, let's just say, I'll just say one. The mere effort alone, undoing it, is your calling that protection in. You know what I mean? And then doing it, you're taking a moment to be extremely aware and conscious that you are protecting yourself.
Yes.
That alone is very powerful.
Not only
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but the very definition of anointing, not everybody is familiar with that word. The very definition of anointing is to take a sacred substance, an aromatic or holy water, and to consecrate someone or something with it. And when you consecrate someone,
Right.
you're making or declaring them sacred and divine. So what better way to start your day than to consecrate yourself and say,
Oneself.
I am divine? It's a reminder of who we really are.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. We're going to do this again. I don't even like to stop right now, but I know that we've taken up quite a bit of time. I knew this would happen. It's so rich with you, and you're talking about my most favorite subject in the whole wide world. Let's tell everybody where they can get the gel. because we'll have to end now, but we'll be back, everyone. I know that you want more.
So
and your website too.
Yes. So my website is AllisonStillman.com. It's ALLISON, S as in Sam, TILLMAN, AllisonStillman.com. And Susan has a website where you can go and you can get this homeopathic human growth hormone gel, and she'll put a link to that underneath this when she posts it, so you all have her website.
Yeah, so it's New You Life is the name of the company, and I believe my website, and I didn't pull it up before our interview, which I should have, but I think it's susanteton.newulife, and it's NEWULIFE, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. So .com, and I'm going to post this video, and underneath it we'll have Allison's website and the link if you would like to purchase the gel. Mention what you told me about the monthly, having it on auto ship.
So when you go to look at the
and
website,
the cost of it and why it's better to do that. Yeah.
When you go to look at Susan's website, you'll see a couple of different options to get the gel. There's actually 3 different options. If you're looking to earn extra income, you can actually become a distributor and share this product, because everyone likes additional streams of income these days. But then as just a customer who wants to use the product, and you can always convert later if you decide, yeah, I'd like to earn some extra referral fees. But to just use the product, if you use it one time as a retail, it's $160. I never let friends pay retail. It's just, I don't believe in it. Yeah. So what I would suggest, if you just want to try the product, is to become a loyal customer, which means that you will get an auto ship monthly of the product. You will also get a free website when you sign up, so you can manage that auto ship. And if you use it 1 month and you say, no, it's not for me, you can cancel it and you don't have to get it again. Right. But you'll save $20 and get it for $145. So yeah, 145, 149, I forget exactly, but yeah. But right, you save $20 right, by doing it on a monthly, even if you don't get it monthly. You can also sign up to get it bi-monthly every other month too. So you have that as an option. Right.
And if somebody wants to order the gel and they want to get on it, you can contact me and or Allison, and we can tell you how to use it as well, because there is a way of loading it into the system where you use a little bit at a time. Yeah. I don't think it'll harm you, but it's just, there's a way of building it and using it.
You want to start slow. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful product. So I always recommend starting slow. But when you go ahead and sign up, just reach out to Susan and we can send you some dosing instructions too.
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so if anyone has any questions at all, feel free to reach me. Just email me at susan@chefteton.com. And thank you, Allison. It was so much fun. I mean, really, it is. It always is. But thank you for some of your tips. I am going to use those a little bit more proactively, because quite frankly, I could really use that in my life right now. And so I so appreciate what you do and what you give and what you honor. And you are a beautiful example of the Seed to Soul series and why I started it.
Thank you, darling.
Love you.
Love you.
All right. Aloha, everyone. Bye-bye.
Aloha.